For 30 years, Faith Fellowship Church has stood strong. But what makes this place so special? Maybe it's the Sunday service or Sunday school class you or your family attends. Perhaps it's the small group you meet up with regularly. Or maybe it's the youth retreat your teenager attended where their life was changed forever. No matter the ministry, memories and bonds were forged over the years. Faith Fellowship Church began on September 3rd, 1995, when 17 adults and 12 children gathered in a home in Melbourne, Florida. Led by Pastors Jeff and Ann Hoy, they left the security of their mainline denomination to plant a Bible-based, Christ-honoring church. Quickly outgrowing their first few meeting spaces, the church expanded its services, established a youth group, and affiliated with the Evangelical Free Church of America in early 1996. A significant anonymous donation enabled the purchase of land, leading to the construction of a multi-purpose facility in 1998. Over time, the church launched key ministries, including Summer Camp, Vacation Bible School, and Mission is Possible. Faith Fellowship Academy was also founded, impacting thousands of children and families. As attendance grew, more staff were added to meet the church's needs. A worship center was built in 2004 to support the expanding congregation and worship arts ministry. Throughout the following decades, Faith Fellowship has become deeply engaged in both local and international missions, hosting marriage cruises, Bible study tours, and supporting ministries in countries such as Guatemala, India, Russia, and the Dominican Republic. Faith Fellowship has also supported local ministries such as Love Inc. and Hope Ministries. To better reflect the heart of its community, Faith Fellowship included a Spanish-speaking congregation as part of its ministry, extending God's love across language and culture. In 2021, we joyfully launched this congregation to become their own independent local church. We launched the Lifeline Young Adult Ministry and began the Fishes and Loaves Food Pantry to serve the community. Let's hear how Faith Fellowship Church impacted these people.
My mom and dad were seeking out a church, so we happened to check it out, and we really enjoyed it. That's where I met my best friend Anthony, and we've been best friends ever since. And I started going to youth group every single week. I realized how much of a family Faith Fellowship is. Miss Cindy one time paid for Samuel and I's lunch at IHOP. We just happened to meet and be eating at the same time, and they paid for us.
Our son, we had a recommendation. We didn't know where to put our child in preschool, and so we had a recommendation for the academy. Got involved, coming to church here when he was going to the academy.
The love they showed for the kids and how it flowed through the entire church. It seemed like the kids were a big priority to everyone in this place, and that was something that was really important to us. It feels like a family being here. Like from a very first time we came, we love the way the messages are presented. It's a very non-judgmental atmosphere as well.
I love that our son is not afraid to speak his faith and to witness to others.
So I found out about Faith Fellowship because my son was actually invited to go to camp. This was when he was in kids camp. Last year of kids camp, but because he went to kids camp, he got the invitation to join youth group. We showed up, he was paired with a big buddy, who happens to be Anthony Pino, great big buddy, and he was all in, but we were new to the church, so I stuck around. I listened, wanted to make sure it was biblically sound, and I never left. So it was only a natural progression to start coming to service here. And then what we felt in youth group was carried over in the service, and listening to Pastor Jeff's teachings, we were just drawn in. My kids started developing more and more friendships, and now it's family.
Jeff, to me, I can remember bits and pieces of sermons he preached years ago. I could go into church and Jeff would preach about this, and if you don't get anything else out of the message, remember this, and the music always fit the theme of his messages. And we've always sat next to the Bradshaws. We've gone to church with them for years, or know the kids and each other.
I remember one time I had lost my job and our children were small. Jeff came over and talked to me, got at the kitchen table with me, and we redid my resume, helped me get hired again. And so that was something you just don't forget when that happens.
I had been raised in the church, but in a church that was didn't necessarily teach Bible study and intimacy with God. It was more rituals and service.
She was the camp director, and she went to camp with our young daughters as pre-campers, and they're now married and have families of their own. And I didn't want to do that. I'm like, no, I don't like teenagers, and I'm not going to do that. I wound up finally saying, they're all having so much fun, I think I'll come along. And I came to camp one year, and then the next year I was a director.
It's been going forever, so I kind of grew up around here. Grew up with all the stuff, going to youth group. Started out as a sixth grader. All my brothers went through it, so I went through it too. Kind of grew up in it, went to all the camps and stuff. After that, I kind of stuck around.
My family was looking around for a church when 13, between my 8th and 9th grade year. And we chose this church, number one, because they had donuts. I remember my brother saying that. And also because it was very word-based and had something that every member of my family could get involved in. Through high school, I was still pretty shy. But the leadership opportunities that youth group provides definitely helped me get plugged in. My first friend/connection was Mr. Wayne Reynolds. He really took the time to see me and encourage me to come out of my shell and listen and would ask follow-up questions. He's been that type of person for so many generations of youth.
I noticed a bunch of kids lined against the back wall, teenagers. When they started doing praise and worship, these kids were just on fire, and so I was hooked. And been here now for 28 years, I guess. I think I have always related, maybe have more remembrances of when I was in 6th grade or 10th grade or 11th grade, 12th grade. They keep me young, they keep me on my toes. I encourage them to ask questions. I don't always have the answers, but we'll find out the answers.
Now approaching its 30th anniversary in 2025, Faith Fellowship Church continues to be a thriving ministry hub with over a dozen staff members and strong volunteer involvement. With room for future expansion and an ongoing passion for outreach and discipleship, the church looks ahead with anticipation for what God will do next in the heart of Florida's Space Coast. We're Faith Fellowship Church. We're family.